everybody. We wanted to start off this week's episode talking about a new electronics brand that Morgan and I are obsessed with, and they're called Sudio.
Sudio makes headphones and earbuds that not only have outstanding sound quality, but they also design headphones as an accessory that you'll be excited to wear around.
So true. Morgan and I both got the Black Regent design, which are Sudio's premium on-ear model, and they're so cute.
So cute.
So cute. The combination of high-polished metal and matte surfaces embodies the vision of Scandinavian design. They also come with custom-designed interchangeable caps, so you can change them up whenever you feel like it.
Change it up for your mood. Regent are the perfect companion for anyone on the go. They will connect to any device that has Bluetooth, or you can use an aux cord that they also provide. And they also give you 24 plus hours of battery life.
That's a lot of life.
That's life.
Now, don't get us wrong. These headphones are handy, super chic, and contemporary, but they also deliver some of the best sound quality I've ever heard. They provide impeccable clarity in the instrumental tones, well-balanced sound, and definition.
Sudio also has a multitude of earbuds, from hard pairs to those nice soft ones that are great for people like me with little tiny ear holes and they get sore.
I get it. You can get a pair of your own Sudio headphones today, and if you use our offer code TheSistersGrim, you can get 15% off your entire order.
That's right. Use promo code TheSistersGrim. That's TheSistersGrimm. That's right, 2 M's, to get 15% off your very own pair of Sudio headphones or earbuds. Trust us, you won't be disappointed.
The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? Show you.
Hey everybody, this is the Sisters Grimm podcast. My name is Holly Freeberg. You may know me from such projects as Free Willy 2.
Shut up. That's always your thing.
Duh.
And I'm Morgan Freeberg, and I have a really fucking cool story to tell you, Holly.
Oh my god.
And, you know, everyone who's listening to this podcast.
Right, no.
So this is an amazing story that was told to me by a girl named Molly. You probably know her. She loves the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We love Molly.
We love Molly.
She lives in Chicago, too.
We don't love Molly because we're adults.
Oh, the drug?
Yeah.
I liked it in high school.
Exactly, so, we're adults. We don't like Molly. But we love Molly.
I'm just gonna tell the story. So, this story is about Molly's mom, who is a total badass, and her name is Lisa. She's 5'1", like me, so she's freaking tiny.
She's a little girl.
And she went to college in Florida from 1975 to 1979. So one day, Lisa had a hair appointment close to campus, so she was walking to the salon, and along the way she ran into this man. He was very nice and charming, so when he asked her to join him for a meal, she almost said yes.
Wait a fucking second, dude.
Thankfully, she didn't want to be late for her appointment, so she declined the invitation, and about an hour later, she was walking back to her dorm, and she passed a restaurant. She sees the same charming man stand up and rush outside of the restaurant towards her. Then she sent a picture of her mom, and she said, "It's worth noting that my mom wore her deep red hair long, like to her ass, straight, and parted in the middle. She got it cut shorter than her chin."
Oh, God.
Day.
Oh, God.
So this dude runs out to her mom and starts shouting, completely berating and assaulting her for, wait for it, cutting her hair.
So it was Ted Bundy.
It was Ted Bundy.
I have all the chills. Oh, my God.
Ted Bundy was pissed because she made herself not his type anymore.
Wow.
But what does fucking Lisa do? She, doesn't give a fuck, and she tells him to fuck off.
Hell yeah, Lisa!
And she walks away.
And for a woman...
And a week later, Ted Bundy killed 2 young women in Tallahassee. during the...
the Chi Omega murders? What?
Right, that was in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, Molly and Lisa, you are bad bitches.
Thank you for being in our life, Molly.
Yeah, so she said she wanted to wait to tell until she asked her mom if she could tell me this story. She's like, I wanted to get the A-OK.
Yeah, no, totally, 100%.
About her encounter with Ted Bundy.
Oh my god. That gave me so many chills.
So many chills.
So this episode is going to be about teens that kill.
Killer teens.
We
did killer kids already?
Killer
No, it's
kids.
killer teens.
Killer teens.
You know when you're like a teenager and like all you want to do is murder someone?
That's all these people.
Pretty much.
Not all teenagers. I did not. I wanted to drink. I wanted to drink apple pucker and go to basketball games.
I like to drink apple pucker too. Do you think that's because that's the only liquor that our parents ever had at their house?
Oh, I cannot still drink it.
Ew,
it tastes like
disgusting.
ass.
Yeah, I don't like apple teenies. I don't like anything apple flavored.
Sugary
booze-wise.
drinks make me want to puke a little bit, and they
what
make
was
me
your first
feel
alcoholic drink?
Me? Oh, it was actually
mine was Pucker's green apple for sure.
Yeah, no, because Mom and Dad always kept it in the. Shout out to Mom and Dad, kept it in the china cabinet.
Yep.
Me and a friend shared a Bud Light together, and then we mixed gin and white grape juice.
Welch's juice. That actually sounds pretty refreshing.
No, it was actually pretty disgusting, but I also had nothing to compare it to at that point. I mean, I had tried beer before because when I was younger and Dad would be drinking beer at dinner, I would be like, "Can I have a sip?" And he'd be like, "Sure, why not?" And then I started the DARE program, and I was like, "Whoa, is my dad gonna get sent to jail?
Is beer killing
illegal?
America?" Anyways, so I'll begin with my first story.
Okie dokie.
And it's the story of Rachel Wade and Sarah Ludman.
Ludman.
Now, I again got a lot of my information from an special.
That's fine. You like your shit, girl.
They're really interesting, and like they are a good jumping off point, and then I go and I dive in and I find out so much more. So, Rachel Wade, she grew up in Pinellas Park, Florida. That's where this all took place.
Oh boy.
So
we're gonna know a lot of details.
She started acting out a lot as a teen, and her parents kind of said that she was really boy obsessed and she really only cared about boys. And
I mean,
a lot of teenagers are like that. You know, you get your first period and then you get horny and then it's all you really care about.
Right. And then you see Matthew Perry. For me, that was mine.
Sure.
Matthew Perry was my One Direction.
Okay. But anyways, so like I said, she rebelled. When she was 18, she moved out. She started waitressing and moved out of her parents' house. Got her own apartment. And then in the summer of 2008, Rachel ran into an old friend from school, and his name was Josh Camacho. And the two began to date. However, around the same time, Josh began dating another girl by the name of Sarah Ludman.
Oh, hell no.
When the two started hearing about each other, they began, like, bullying each other online, sending each other, like, fucking crazy, like, text messages and, like, voicemails. And I'm gonna read you...
the transcript?
The transcript from one of Rachel... I'm gonna read you the transcript of a couple of Rachel's voicemails, but I'm gonna go... in order. This is the first one I want you to hear.
I'm so fucking excited. I can't even tell you.
So this is
I'm on
how
the edge of my
the
butt.
voicemail went. Okay. Seriously, I told you to watch your fucking back and not to fucking chill with him. Now your ass is mine, and I'm guaranteeing you I'm gonna fucking murder you. I'm letting you know that now.
What a fucking idiot. Your voice choice for her, though, was pretty good. I'm sorry if you had already said this, but how old are these girls?
At this time, I think Sarah and Rachel, I think they're both like 18. Maybe
18?
one's 19.
Okay, so this is pretty typical behavior.
Sarah didn't Sarah, I think, graduated from high school, or at least was still in high school at the time. Rachel got her GED.
Okay, cool.
I get the two names mixed up because Rachel and Sarah are both such, like, basic names, so I was like, wait, which one's Sarah?
They're very biblical.
Totally.
Yeah, it's crazy. Biblical names are nuts. So anywho's wait, so
they were both just like obsessed with this dude.
This was texting, right?
Well, what I just read you was a voicemail.
Oh, a voicemail. Does she not realize that is,
I don't know.
She could get arrested from that? No, she's 18.
So,
she's a dumb idiot.
Rachel said that one day Sarah and like some of her friends came into the restaurant where she was working, aka Applebee's. Which, by the way, I was so hungry for Applebee's today, but I don't know where any is in the city.
I don't think there are.
And, like, I guess they came in and they were, like, messing with her. They were, like, singing weird songs at her, and they, like, knocked a, like, tray of drinks out of her hand. And then on her way home from work that night, they tried to run her off the road.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so that's Sarah trying to run Rachel off the road.
Damn.
So then...
And those were, like, the backwoods of Florida, probably? Right. Oh, shit.
Well, I don't know. I don't know where this town is. So, on April 14th, 2009, everything between the girls finally came to a head. Rachel said that she was home alone, and she was actually waiting for Josh to come over, and she went outside, and she was walking her dog, and then she heard a car start honking its horn, and then she just heard Sarah start screaming, like, stay away from my man! Like, you're a hoe! Like, all this stuff. And so Rachel got really scared, and she wanted to leave, so she called one of her ex-boyfriends, whose name is Javier, and throughout all of this, I could not find out Javier's last name.
Oh, Javier.
He's like a Madonna.
Javier.
He's just Javier.
Javier, no last name given.
And so he said, come over. So she decided to go to his place, but before leaving her apartment, she made the biggest mistake that she could ever make.
Yeah.
She grabbed a steak knife from the kitchen, and she put it in her purse.
Oh.
Yeah. So around 11 p.m., Rachel, after, like, hanging out with, like, Josh and being, like, pissed off, I'm assuming, she drove up to Josh's house, and she saw that Sarah's car was parked out front. So she had been texting Josh because he was going to come over, and then she texted him and said, oh, now I know why you're not talking. And then he responded and said, yeah, that's right, I don't like you no mo. Now you gotta, or why don't you go home? And then Sarah texted back and said, no, I'll wait for her to go home.
Oh, fuck.
And so Sarah's curfew was like 11, so she was late. And when she was leaving, she offered to give Josh's sister and I think one of his sister's friends a ride to McDonald's.
Aww.
And I guess when she was driving, she, like, saw one of her friends. This is Sarah. Mm-hmm. Saw one of her friends and said, yo, Rachel is sitting up there, like, at Josh's house, like, about to go over there. And so then Rachel got pissed. And at 12:45, Sarah got pissed. And so at 12:45 a.m., while Rachel was just, like, sitting on the hood of her car, she was smoking a cigarette. She was with Javier and then another one of their friends whose name was Dustin Grimes. He's only important because he
was there.
He's in the trial. Well, he's a part of the trial.
Yeah.
And when Sarah pulled up in her van with the two other girls, she apparently, like, drove in so fast that she almost hit Rachel.
Oh, God.
And so here's where things get kind of conflicting because there's different reports of what happened next.
Okay.
Rachel claims that Sarah came at her even after Rachel pulled the knife out. So she said she pulled the knife out and she, like, didn't care. She still, like, came at her.
Whoa.
But the witnesses say that Rachel didn't even get a chance to get out of the car before Rachel stabbed her twice in the chest. And one of the stab wounds pierced Sarah's heart. And she was pronounced dead at the hospital just, like, 2 hours later.
Fuck.
Yeah. So when the police started questioning Rachel, she didn't even think Sarah died. She didn't think she had stabbed her that badly. And so when the police told Rachel that Sarah had died, like, I saw the video, she literally, like, breaks down crying.
Really?
Yeah, because she's like, I didn't think I, like, really even stabbed her that bad. Or, I don't know. But that's what it seemed like.
I would still be like, but you stabbed
Oh, totally.
her.
Totally.
You knew that something bad was going to come of this.
Yeah, a knife is never a good call.
And especially a steak knife that's serrated, that's gonna fuck up your heart.
Yeah, it was like one of those little, like steak knives, you know.
Yeah, I think I actually keep one behind my bed, so I know how that I kill someone.
It's your house. So, during the trial, the defense argued self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the king of the castle law.
And Rachel's attorney argued that she was really scared because not only was Sarah a lot bigger than she was, but she also was outnumbered by all the other girls in the car. And so she had the knife because she was afraid, and so she stabbed her out of self-defense. It was stated that the two girls had fought previously before this. Like, they apparently got into, like, a fight one time, and they, like, pulled each other's hair. You know how, like, girls fight. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't anything like this.
It wasn't a knife fight.
And so the witnesses who testified for the prosecution were Josh, even though he wasn't there, but he still was obviously a big part of it. And, like, the whole time he was pretty much saying, like, I wasn't really dating either of them. It was, like, friends with benefits. But their families were like, you were their world.
Yeah.
This fucking kid.
Yeah.
This fucking loser-ass kid.
Well, it just sucks because, like, they probably just didn't... I mean, he should have fucking explained that.
Yeah.
But you're a teenager.
You're
can't
a teenager.
word that kind of stuff.
You don't know something like this is going to happen.
No, exactly.
So,
you cannot foresee that.
Right. So Josh's sister and Dustin Grimes, the one I was telling you about, they also testified, and they both say that they saw Rachel attack Sarah. Like, Sarah didn't even get out of the car. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Javier, the one who I was telling you whose last name I couldn't get, he also testified, or he testified for the defense, and he said that the two were definitely fighting, but he didn't really see anything.
So, at that point, okay, I'm sorry, I cannot get their names straight, but I, like, know, like...
They're just all the ones who were there.
Oh, no, I mean, okay, so Rachel is
So the
one...
two dudes were hanging out with Rachel, who's the one who killed them. Sarah's the one who's dead.
Okay, so...
Sarah had the two girls with her.
Okay, so Rachel killed Sarah. So,
yeah.
Rachel says that Sarah came at her.
Yeah.
Like, ran towards her.
Came at her, like throwing punches.
I don't think that... I mean, obviously, you have this information.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, oh, no, I thought, like, you... Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that...
I mean, no one was filming it every, like, you know...
Well, but someone coming at you, punching you, is not... Like, that wouldn't stand for the, like, defending your home. Like, it has to be, like,
it's
a
not defending
real
your
threat.
home. That's not what stand your ground is.
The stand your ground?
Stand your ground is, like, if someone's trying to hurt you, you hurt them back.
Oh, I
You're thinking of, like...
The King of the Castle
yeah, that's
one?
different.
Okay. Cool. Tight.
And so, like I said, Javier said he didn't really see anything. But, unfortunately for Rachel, Sarah had saved all of the threatening voicemails, and they played them for the jury. I'm going to read one of them for you right now. I read the other one, and this is the other one. Please tell me, Sarah, why you would be a dumb-ass cunt and put a fucking brand new picture of you and Josh at the beach on your MySpace. I'm gonna fucking murder you. I'm gonna play your ass out, too. Watch, you're a fucking fat bitch and I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, you can't say... What year was this?
2008?
Okay, I guess MySpace was still a thing then.
I guess.
So...
No, wait, yeah, MySpace was hot at this point.
It's just like, maybe that was like her signature. Like, maybe her signature was just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, everything you get from her just ends with, it's like, hi mom, I love you, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Maybe, I don't know.
No, that's dumb, you shouldn't say things like that,
I mean,
teenagers.
that shit is pretty damning. She has two different voicemails of her saying, I'm going to murder you, I'm going to kill you. And apparently, other people also heard that night... Rachel called Sarah and said, I'm gonna, like, kill you and your fucking Mexican boyfriend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Racist
'cause Josh
and
was Mexican.
illegal. Yeah, that's really fucked up.
So the jury obviously thought that that was not cool, and she was found guilty of murder in the second degree.
Okay.
And September 3rd, 2010, she was sentenced to 27 years in state prison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she's eligible for
parole,
but, apparently, with how much time she had already spent, she tried to go for time spent, kind of like what they did. But, like, her time wasn't actually spent, and she, like, fucking killed someone. Like, she needs to stay in jail for a while. And I think she's tried to get out, but Sarah's family has made it not easy, you know.
Yeah, they're not, like, well, I mean, it seems, I don't know, because it seems like, since there's two different conflicting accounts of what happened.
Right.
But either way, even if someone's coming at you with punches, you should not stab them.
No. Even if you're smaller. And also, ladies, I hope we have some younger listeners. Don't fucking care about dudes. They don't matter.
Yeah.
And we've all been there where, like, you say some rude shit to a girl because she's dating your ex or whatever. I mean, but, like, imagine if that thing you said that you're, like, now, like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever said was accidentally killing someone and you're in jail for it.
Yeah, you have to be accountable for the things you say. And especially nowadays when anything, like, I mean, if that situation had happened in the 1800s, she would have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Because she had no means of
People are really stupid with technology.
They are. They don't realize that there are ways to go back and be like, yeah, this was you, dum-dum.
People just send out naked pictures like it's fucking nothing nowadays.
Dude, the government knows everything about us. There's drones following you around.
Seriously.
You can look up like, the FBI. You can, like, look up an FBI report to see if they've ever looked into you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hope they haven't. I'm not very interesting.
I mean, we both Google serial killers a lot.
That is true.
When at work, a girl I work with came over to my desk to ask me a question, and the tab I had up on my screen was 7 infamous teen killers, and the girl was like, "What?"
I mean, we have what would it be called? I don't know. We have, like, an alibi that this is our podcast.
Yeah, no.
That's why we have this podcast, so that the government can't be like, hey, it's weird you look up this stuff all the time. We're like, no, we're doing it for research.
It's research, you motherfuckers. That's how we would talk to Homeland Security. Hey, motherfucker, we have a podcast.
And it's called our podcast, and, like, you should really get woke, okay?
Like, you should subscribe.
Please write us a 5-star review.
And review.
Well, yeah, so that was the story. That's just how fucked up life can be. You can kill someone,
even if it's an accident, and you don't fucking say stupid shit. That story has a moral to it.
Yeah, don't fucking threaten people.
Don't tell someone you are going to kill them.
Yeah, don't ever say that.
Don't even tell someone you're going to beat them. Threatening someone
don't threaten people.
Is called assault. It is battery when you actually physically touch them. Assault can be just I'm getting harassment confused with assault. Assault, you need to use your hands. Harassment, or like...
Yeah, it's definitely verbal harassment. Can you stop shaking your titties at me?
Why do you always have to tell everyone?
Okay, well, it was weird, and I had to bring it up. So, do you want to talk
I'm
about
wearing
your
a cutoff.
I don't care.
The sleeves were holding me back. Yeah.
From holding your titties?
No, it's hot outside in Chicago.
It is hot. Thank God, finally.
Thank God.
Thank God. Alright, so talk about your fucking next killer.
Okay, bitch, I fucking will.
You fucking better, or I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Obviously joking.
Yeah.
Plus, you're my sister, so, like, if I kill you, I think it's, like, less trouble.
No.
I'm kidding.
You dumb idiot. It's called, like, sororicide or something.
What?
Yeah. Like, killing your father is, like, patricide.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
maternicide.
It's not like you get a freebie for killing a family member.
She was your sister.
She was your sister. It's cool. You're like, she locked me in a goddamn closet when I was a kid.
True.
And they're like...
She closed me in the couch bed.
And then I get sent to jail for the rest of my life.
Anyway.
So, for my first story, it is the South Valley homicides.
Ugh.
South Valley...
California?
New Mexico.
Oh.
So on January 19th, 2013, 15-year-old Nehemiah Griego killed 5 members of his family. Around midnight, Nehemiah went into his parents' room where his mom, Sarah, and 9-year-old brother, Zephaniah, were sleeping. He took a .22 rifle from his parents' closet and shot his mom in the face, which obviously made Zephaniah wake up.
Right.
And Nehemiah told Zephaniah that he had just killed their mom. And Zephaniah didn't believe him, and so Nehemiah went over and, like, lifted Sarah's, like, bloody head and was like, yeah, I killed her. And so, like anyone would do, especially a 9-year-old, Zephaniah started freaking out, and Nehemiah shot him in the face, too. So, down the hall...
Zephaniah?
Yeah, it gets worse. Down the hall, he could hear his little sisters... 5-year-old JL and 2-year-old Angelina crying in their bedroom, so he shot both of them too.
Wow.
Yeah. He was afraid he was out of bullets, so he went back to the closet and took out an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. His plan was to wait by the front door and ambush his father when he got home. So around 5 a.m., former preacher Greg Griego returned home from a late-night church related thing. It was like a
late night.
Yeah. Well, it was like a late night like shift of something. Like maybe at like a
food
a bit something
place?
along
like a food
he was a
bank
very
or...
nice charitable man.
Right.
And when he walked into the house, Nehemiah shot him multiple times, killing him. So the family was incredibly religious. I mean, the dad was a former pastor.
Right.
They were very involved in their church, which was called Calvary Church, and the children were actually homeschooled. And they say that kind of the parents did that on purpose to kind of distance them, but then other accounts say that like the children were very involved with church stuff. Like, the church had, like, sports teams and, like, shit that...
Yeah. Recreation.
Yeah, recreational
activities.
type stuff. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's not that weird.
Yeah. So, also, Nehemiah had a 12-year-old girlfriend at the time who he had met at church. Cute. Because that's all Nehemiah... I think that's the only place Nehemiah went.
Yeah.
And immediately after killing his family, he texted her about what he'd done and sent her a picture of Sarah's dead body.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
This happened in 2013.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then he told her he was feeling crazy, and then they started sexting.
Okay. What was the girlfriend's name?
Well, she was 12 years old at the time.
That's a little...
Well...
12?
Yeah.
Sexting at 12?
What do you even say?
Ooh,
Your penis is cool. Your penis is cool.
Your penis seems like cool.
I would, think it would be cool to see your penis.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah. To each their own, but that's young.
So Nehemiah is, definitely not okay, mentally, stably wise, and he said that he had been having suicidal and homicidal thoughts at the time. So
obviously, the homicidal ones.
Yeah, that morning, after killing his dad, Nehemiah took his mom's keys, drove the family van.
At 12?
No, in the morning.
No, he's 12?
No, he's 15, the girlfriend's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be, freshmen dating a 6th grader?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, that's not cute.
Well, also, they didn't go to school. They were homeschooled, so things were probably a little different.
Okay, Tuesday.
We get it, Tuesday. You watch Sister Wives. Or Keeping Up with the Duggars. What were the fun... Anywho, so... Nehemiah drove to his girlfriend's house, and he asked if he could stay there for a while.
Which she didn't tell her parents he just killed his whole family?
No.
She's ride or die.
Well, we don't really know, but I think she was staying with her grandmother at the time, and, when he asked that, it was sort of a red flag, and so that night, because they were so religious, obviously, they went to night church, and, so at 8 p.m., they went to church, and Nehemiah told members of the congregation that his family wasn't there because they died in a car crash.
Oh my God.
I would be like, Nehemiah, why are you here?
Oh, my family died in a car crash.
He's like, my family died in a car crash. But I still felt the need to come to church.
Yeah, what?
And so, obviously, the police were called. Yeah, the church members had to have been like, what the fuck?
Right.
So the police went to the house and found the 5 dead bodies. At first, Nehemiah denied everything, but eventually confessed to killing his father because he said that he had been abusive and that he killed his mom and siblings to be thorough so there wouldn't be witnesses or anything.
What?
But the cops knew...
He killed them first, before the dad.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the police were like, no, this was a premeditated homicide.
Yeah.
And there was never any proof that Greg abused him in any way
He probably
whatsoever.
spanked him. I mean, that's what a lot of religious people or parents do to their kids.
Yeah, and it's whatever, to each their own. So, Nehemiah also told police that he had wanted, or had been thinking about, rather, going into a public place such as a Walmart and just opening fire. He also said that he had planned on killing his girlfriend's parents, too. And he also tried saying that they were both planning on killing their parents.
That's a big thing in a lot of these stories.
Well, but...
none of the ones that I'm talking about, but I watched a lot of documentaries today.
Yes. It's a big thing. You kill your parents and I'll kill my parents and then we can go to fucking Applebee's.
A lot of people do that. And then they always go to Applebee's.
And then they always
they get the combo platter because it's the fucking shit.
And then they order a goddamn quesadilla burger.
Oh, the quesadilla burger.
Yeah. Anywhoozle. Okay, but that was... that was bullshit.
Right.
Because the cops questioned her about it, and
she was all no.
All charges were dropped because she was like, no. Nehemiah crazy. Nehemiah's crazy.
He's crazy, but he's cute.
And he told me, that
was her. She was like, I'm sorry, he's just really cute.
I mean, we don't know a lot of details because she was 12.
Right.
So she can't, she was 12. So, anyhoozle. He was sent to a juvenile center and was charged with 2 murders and 3 counts of child abuse resulting in death. And
in jail?
No, juvenile. A juvenile.
Sorry.
Well, but the case moved very slowly because Nehemiah was constantly being evaluated for his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
He was diagnosed as, I think, like schizo-paranoid, but he was in the right state of mind. Like, he wasn't, like, having an episode at the time. Like, he was fully aware that and it was premeditated.
Right. He literally waited for his dad.
Yeah, it was bad. So, in October of 2015, Nehemiah pled guilty and was sent to a juvenile center and was sentenced to be there until he turned 21, which his birthday was 2 months ago.
Oh, so he's out, or he is being...
Oh, he has not been released because a judge ordered that Nehemiah be sent to grown-up prison because he felt Nehemiah was dangerous, because he heard that Nehemiah said that if he wasn't released, he was going to kill prison guards.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do.
That's not...
Or say...
No, that means you still...
So Nehemiah's 21 today.
No, 2 months ago. He turned it...
But like today, walking around a 21-year-old. Not walking around.
Walking around a prison in New Mexico, yes. He's, well, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing right now.
He's doing okay over there in New Mexico.
Yeah, so prosecutors want to keep Nehemiah in jail. There's been a lot of back and forth, but for right now, all we know is that he's scheduled for a hearing on May 15th. Which hasn't even happened yet. So this case is still ongoing.
Still happening.
Nehemiah also, this is how religious this family was. He also had 5 older siblings.
That weren't there when this happened?
No, they were older and they were not living at home at the time. Probably college age. Yeah. And one of his sisters said, I personally would like him to stay behind bars. I think he's a danger to society. The fact that Nehemiah killed his own family reflects just how detached, callous, and brutal he is capable of being.
Yeah.
And they don't think that he can be rehabilitated.
Sometimes.
I mean, he said he was going to kill if they didn't let him out. Why? Or it's just very sad because he also clearly has mental illness, mental illness.
Rehabilitation needs to be more prevalent in the...
It is. I read something this week that Cook County Jail is the #1 mental facility in the world. No.
Oh, like
because
bad?
That's bad. That means that we're sending people with like...
Oh, I thought you meent like they're doing the most.
Oh, no. That it means that we're sending people with mental health issues to jail.
A lot of homeless people.
Yeah, because fucking... I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But, let's get to story numero...
sponsor.
Yeah, our numero sponsor.
Numero sponsor. It's also Cinco de Mayo today. Holly, do you know what one of my biggest pet peeves is?
Is it when Tuesday starts eating her food loudly right as we're about to start recording the podcast every week?
Yeah, but also, you know, like when your headphones or your earbuds or whatever get all tangled up and there's a million little knots and you can't get them out?
I hate that too, which is why I've been loving our new Studio Bluetooth headphones. Even the cord they do provide if you don't feel like using Bluetooth isn't one of those skinny little cords that get tangled super duper easy. Everything about the Studio design is a sleek and unbelievably streamlined process.
Studio was inspired by the beauty and vibrance of Stockholm, Sweden, and they believe remaining true to their Scandinavian roots is what has helped get them where they are today.
Studio wants to revolutionize the way consumers see headphones and earbuds, not just as a tech device, but also as a gorgeous accessory that you'll be proud to wear out and about.
I know, I've already taken several cute photos with my headphones. Holly and I both got the Regent on-ear model, and we also both got the really cute marble interchangeable caps that they provide. And people keep coming up to me asking me where I've got them because they don't look like any other headphone really out there, like on the market right now.
No, same here. They're definitely a piece of art, and you can wear them around, and as an artist, I'm obsessed. Their minimalistic look is very cute.
Studio also has smaller earbuds like their tray design that are amazing for working out. They're sweat-proof, and they have custom wingtips so they fit very securely around your ear.
What the frick are you waiting for? Go to their website, studio.com, to get your first pair of headphones or earbuds, and if you use our promo code, The Sisters Grimm, that's with 2 M's, you'll get 15% off.
That's right, The Sisters Grimm, 2 M's for 15% off your entire order today. All right, so on July 18th, 2003 in Clear Lake City, Texas, which is kind of like a mecca for a lot of astrophysicists live there. So it's a very, like, affluent area.
Cool.
So,
I love a good astrophysicist.
The really nice houses. Really pretty area. 4 teens were hanging out in the home of Tiffany Rowell, Rachel Kalarudis, Tiffany's best friend. They were also hanging out with Tiffany's boyfriend, Marcus Pratia, and his cousin, Albert Sanchez. A 5th friend was coming to join the group, but when they walked in, it was a complete bloodbath.
Eek.
Like, the crime scene photos and stuff
are really gross.
Yeah.
You saw them?
From, like, the entirety of this case, because... Just wait.
Oh boy.
So, the 4 were found dead in the living room. They had all been shot to death. There was blood splattered all over the walls. All over everything. Rachel was sprawled out on the floor next to a cell phone, and she was the only one of the 4 who didn't die from gunshot wounds. She actually died from blunt force trauma to her skull.
Oh.
She had been, like, is it called pistol whipped?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
She
that shows
had
crime
just
of passion.
She had just dialed the 9 on her phone.
Fuck.
Yeah.
If only
she was also shot 6 times.
If only she'd been from the UK. I think all you have to do is hit 99. She would have just been 1 number away instead of 2.
Okay. So there were bullet holes and bullet casings all over the room. There were 21 shots fired, and 17 of them hit their
bodies,
target.
Obviously. Did they say what kind of guns they were?
22, and I forget the other one.
I don't know why I asked.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a follow-up. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember the other one, and I'm not a gun expert by any stretch of anything.
No, me either. But it does seem like if there was blood everywhere, that they used a gun that wherein the bullets cause a lot of blood splatter. That is
Definitely.
all I'm going to
lots
say.
Lots of blood splatter analysis, lots of Dexter.
Lots of Dexter.
Morgan.
Which is super weird because we are sitting next to dearly devoted Dexter.
Hey.
Hey. And also, like, the 5th season of the show.
We're just surrounded by Dexter right now.
Dexter.
So, 2 of the victims, it looked like it was a surprise because 2 of them were literally still sitting on the now blood-soaked couch in, like, recliners. Like, they were just fucking hanging out watching TV.
How do you think they dispose of, like, furniture? Or, like, no, that would just be an...
Incineration?
So no, it would have to be evidence.
To some point.
They would have to have, like, a huge fucking warehouse, like, at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Couches covered in blood.
Oh, they're like, this is the bloody couch room. Like, in a huge, giant plastic bag.
Right.
I'm sorry. That was just something I hadn't really ever thought of before.
It's okay. So, when the police started their investigation, they found out that the 2 boys had been drug dealers. So they immediately started thinking, like, maybe it was gang-related, maybe it was, like, mob-related.
Especially because of the gun stuff.
We had lots of guns, lots of really good shots, lots of very little misses.
Yeah.
So it seemed maybe like it was a professional job.
Right. But her death.
And there were no murder weapons left at the scene.
But they left all the casings.
Yeah, but...
Were they untraceable? Did they file off the numbers?
I think they were. Yeah, they were untraceable.
I don't know if that's a thing too.
So Tiffany was living in this house alone at the time because her dad had, like, remarried and she was, like, 18, and so she was living at the house by herself, so it was kind of became, like, a party house. And so, like, a lot of people are going in and out of this house at a lot of times.
And she was 18, you said?
She was, like, 18, yeah.
Okay. And was she in high school during this time? Or
she was, maybe... like, just graduated. Like, summer after graduation. Oh, yeah. All of these people.
You would have I would have parties all the time.
So the neighbors said that they saw a young man and a young woman dressed in all black walking around the house. This really cool woman, I wish I would have remembered her name, but she was the crime scene
sketch
artist. And so she talked to the neighbors and she got what they looked like, and she said that the woman was wearing a bandana and had really big eyes, and the guy was, like, a pretty handsome, like, blonde boy.
Okay.
Which didn't fit the profile of what they thought at all. Because they thought it was, like, mob related.
Right, and they thought it was, like, because, I mean, anybody can be a fucking drug dealer.
Well, yeah, totally. But, like I said about the mob, one of the boys, Albert Sanchez, he actually had family members tied to the Mexican mafia.
Who doesn't?
Well. And a lot of them were in prison, so I think they were able to, like, communicate with them easily, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, nothing ever came together with that. Like, there were no connections between the 2.
Okay.
And so the case went cold for 3 years.
I
Yeah,
didn't mean to
and
say
like
the
family members of the victims started thinking that they would never find out who did this. And so Rachel's father, the one who was beat to death,
yes,
he started like raising money. He literally, it was kind of like that billboard movie. He started putting up.
Like Ryan Ferguson's
He raised a
dad?
bunch of money so that he could put billboards all over every single exit in the town of those two drawings,
right,
of the two composite drawings.
That's very smart.
And he also offered $100,000 reward for anyone who could help catch the killers.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, he raised that much money that he was able to put up billboards all over and do that. But
Whoa.
The craziest thing is that the way we actually find out who did this was from an anonymous caller.
Well, maybe
via Crime Stoppers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not...
So who knows if they got any money because they did it anonymously because...
But that's actually kind of fucking badass. Like, they just wanted... Well,
yeah.
Maybe they never... Or maybe they found out about the billboard and they were like, fuck!
Well, also, another reason it could be anonymous is because this person said that they recognized the girl because he said that he went to rehab with the girl.
Oh, okay. So he probably didn't want to give his information
this girl
away.
admitted to killing 4 people.
Oh.
And she also said something that only the killer would know, because they never put this out in the public, that the one girl was trying to call 911. She, gloated about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
And this woman...
That's so fucking... That's like The Strangers.
Yeah.
That's so fucking gross.
And
to
this
be
woman
like...
was Christine Paolilla.
The one who killed... The one who was...
This was the woman. She was in rehab for heroin. She was a huge heroin addict.
But she was the one who came forward and told?
No. This kid tipped Crime Stoppers off because he went to rehab with this girl.
Oh, and
Christine.
and Christine is the
she
one
would
who
gloat
did it.
about it.
Oh.
In rehab, and she would talk about it. And
wait, so
she went to high school with the 3 students.
So, and he... Okay, well, that's why he did it anonymously then, because technically he's
not allowed to. Because,
he's not allowed to. Good for fucking him, though.
Yeah. So Christine was often bullied at school. She had alopecia, so she lost all of her hair on her head, her eyebrows, her eyelashes.
Kids are assholes.
But what's really fucked up about this whole case is that Rachel and Tiffany were beautiful angels, and so they were really nice to her and befriended her and helped her get made over. This is so how I heard about this.
It's
was
Mean Girls, but nice.
No, seriously,
but nice girls.
But I heard about this on Facebook. I was just scrolling through Facebook, and it was this girl kills the 2 girls who were nice to her, and so I had to read it, and then I looked up all this information, and that's why I was we should do one about teens who kill, because I just thought the story was really interesting.
I think I have heard... I've read that headline, but I did not know any deets.
So like I said, she went to high school with all of the students. So when they tipped this off and they were well, yeah, that girl you went to rehab with goes to the same high school as all of these, or 3 of the people. 3 of the, I don't think the cousin went to school with them, but the boyfriend and the 2 girls did.
Uh-huh.
And Christine, like I said, was really, really addicted to heroin. She claimed when she was being questioned that she would spend over $1,000 on heroin a day.
And heroin's fucking cheap.
She had gotten this inheritance of over $300,000, and she spent it all on a condo that I don't even know about the condo really, because they don't really talk about it that much, but mostly she spent it all on heroin.
Heroin is irresponsibly cheap.
Yeah. And so, they did other drugs too. A lot of cocaine too.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes more sense. That's
it wasn't just on heroin, but she was really
maybe she probably did speedballs.
Probably. So what the police did to track Christine down, because they didn't know where she was, they just had this tip of who she was. So they used ATM history to track her down, and they found her and husband, who she also met at rehab.
Okay, that happens. And
at
it works
this
out
old
lovely.
cheap hotel in San Antonio, Texas, which the police that went described as the grossest place they've ever seen.
The grossest hotel, or just the way they kept it.
They were there for months.
Ew.
And there were syringes all over the ground. They said there was blood mist all over the walls, because when you're done shooting up, you blow the extra out, and so blood would always be in it, and so there was blood just all over the walls, misted, covering everything. There were wrappers all over the ground. The pictures are pretty gross.
That's a more fucked up version of being a stoner, where you just have ashes in random places.
Yeah, or little globs of
of cashing something out.
Yeah.
But blood is... I did not
I didn't know that until this either, yeah.
I actually honestly just learned what a speedball was the other day.
Yeah.
I said it with a lot of
Confidence.
But I just looked what it was the other day.
So, obviously, when Christine was being questioned, she initially said that her boyfriend at the time, who was the other person in the sketch, Chris Snider, had done the whole thing, and that she didn't do it at all. She didn't know why he was... She thought he was just going in there for a second. She was outside. Hang on, sorry. I lost my place and Tuesday snored. So when the police... So she said all that, and so when... they were going to try to find Chris Snider, they, like, put out, like, a hit on him, and I think he heard about it. He went into the woods, he took a bunch of fucking pills, and he fucking killed himself.
Holy shit. So he definitely...
They found him out in, like, a field, dead.
So he probably definitely had something to do with it.
He 100% did. They both fucking did. So, when they found him dead, they then went on to search his home, and they found both guns that were used, and they still, this is years after, had some of the victims' blood traces on the guns still.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
like
bonkers.
The people murdered. So it was like, obviously they did it. 100 fucking %. So anyway, so Christine's husband, when he was being questioned, the one that she met in rehab, he told them that she was a part of it, and that she gloated about going back inside to make sure that they were all dead. Wow. So she was absolutely a part of it. She was the one who pistol whipped Rachel to death.
Whoa.
Yeah. Christine explained that because they were all friends, the teens had just let them in. They didn't think anything of it, and as soon as they all got in the house, they just started firing. They knew that there would be drugs and money at the house. Oh. So they stole... That's, like, another thing, is it's always, like, about money.
Or like stealing other people's
stealing, like...
drugs.
Because I almost did this other story, and it was literally this group of 4 kids murdered this one dude over his $500 check that they split. That's like $125 each. That's barely anything.
Yeah, what year was it? 1900?
It was like the 90s, but like, are you kidding me? I can blow $125 at Target with my eyes fucking closed.
On the dollar section alone.
Yeah,
and
honestly.
I have.
And so they went there for drugs.
And all these stories just prove how dumb teenagers are.
Yeah. What's crazy is that, like, when she was being questioned, she was, like, coming off heroin so badly. Oh. So this really sucked for her. Oh. And, like, the people who were, like, one of the cops quoted saying, he's like, I'm really happy that I was able to... She got everything she deserved, and I'm happy I was able to, like, be a part of that, because she deserved it. Because it was literally, like, you wanted to get high, like, 2 more times, and 4 people's future is worth that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I got a lot of my information from an old episode of Forensic Files.
Oh, cool! That show's amazing. That's like the most killing a bunch of people just so that you can do drugs like
for like a second.
Yeah,
I'm sure they didn't have like millions of dollars.
I mean, I don't do those kinds of drugs, but like I would compare that to being like killing someone over an 1/8,
over like a really good dinner at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you see them... Yeah, sure. Sure.
But have you ever been, like, driving and you like, see someone, like, walking with, like, a freezing cold, like... You know, like, I'll be in Chicago and I'm driving and I see someone holding, like, a really cold case of, like, Coronas, and I'm like, I could hit them and get these Coronas.
You would... Okay.
I'm kidding. I mean, the thought crosses my mind, but I would never do it.
Okay, but... okay. There's a lot to... Okay.
Or, like, when you're, like, so...
how could you hit them and not... Okay, so you know when you hit them, they will probably drop the Coronas.
I meant, like, hit them with, like, my hand while simultaneously grabbing the drinks.
Do you want Coronas that bad? Are you... I will give you money if you need Coronas.
I have money.
You just... Okay. That's an interesting thought. I think...
You've never thought that?
I think everyone's
I've been with people and, like, we see someone who's, like, holding something and we're like, should we just knock her over? You don't think that ever about, like, a really good, like, piece of pizza?
No.
All right. Well, anyways, we're different people. So on October 13th, 2008, Christine was convicted of 4 counts of capital murder. But since she was 17 during the time of the murders, she was only given life imprisonment instead of the death penalty. But she is life in prison, no chance of parole.
No chance of parole? Good. Mm-hmm. Good. She should be there forever.
Yeah.
Wow, Christine.
Yeah, really fucked
Chris
up.
And Christine were the couple, like, because Chris was her boyfriend's name.
Yeah, that's
Chris and Christine.
Lame.
Maybe that's why they...
You ever heard something so lame?
I know 2 Aarons who got married. Aaron with an E and Aaron with a double A.
Into that, whatever.
Yeah.
So, should you want to, like, tell your really, I'm assuming, fucked up story?
It's pretty fucked up. So my final story is about the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs.
Sexy how you said that, kind of.
Dnipropetrovsk?
Not like you personally, but like
Well,
the accent.
The Ukrainian language and the Russian language are very beautiful.
Yeah.
And some of these words are really good touchstones to go into, like, an accent like that, which I'm probably going to do later. But yeah, Dnipropetrovsk is the town in the Ukraine where most of these attacks all happened.
How do you say it again?
Dnipropetrovsk.
Dnipropetrovsk.
But look how it's spelled. It's a silent D.
Interesting.
Yeah. The Dnipropetrovsk maniacs. It was Ukrainian 19-year-olds Viktor Sayenka and Igor Suprunuk. During June and July of 2007, the teens killed 21 people and attacked several more. Within such a short span of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
It's another country, but still, fuck. They are also the ones known for making the shock video 3 Guys, 1 Hammer.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, which
Yuck.
I briefly mentioned in our Canadian Killer episode with Luca Magnotta. He was definitely influenced by these 2 dumb dildos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is the 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. I never knew the backstory.
This is like older when that happened.
Yeah, this all happened in 2007.
Yeah,
I mean, this was when all those... I mean, there was 2 girls.
Like 2 girls on coming out. When I saw the quick amount of that video, that was the first time, and still to this day, the last time that anything I've, like, just looking at something made me want to throw up. I've never, like, looked at something and gagged before. It's always, like, a smell or, like, the way something tastes.
That's how I feel about this.
Okay.
And...
And,
like, that grossed me out until I found out that it was fake. Mm-hmm. And...
I mean, it's still, like, something going in and out of someone's butt.
It really is. I think we've had this conversation on the podcast before.
Probably.
Tuesday is, like, mad that we're talking about it again.
She's really excited.
So, both boys were born in 1988, so they're my age. They went to school together, and they committed petty crimes throughout their childhood and teen years, mostly robbery, but they were never arrested because they were all of this happened while they were under 17. Mm-hmm. And that's how it works in the Ukraine. So, the first victim was Yekaterina Ilchenko on June 25th, 2007. Yekaterina. I sound like Katrina?
You sound like Katya.
Or Katya, I mean. She was walking home after having tea with a friend, and Igor and Viktor were out walking around. Igor had a hammer, and when they walked past Yekaterina, he hit her on the head, bludgeoned her to death. And her body was found the next day by her mother. The second victim was murdered only an hour later. His name was Roman Tatarevich, and he was also bludgeoned to death. He was hit about the head multiple times with blunt objects until his face was unrecognizable. Okay. Yeah, on July 1st, 2007...
They had so much rage.
Yeah, they had a lot of rage. Because all their blows are all directed towards people's faces. Yeah. And it's mostly Igor doing bringing the hammer to the game.
Throwing it out.
Yeah. Ugh. Or not that, but Igor.
I get you.
So, again, on July 1st, Yevgenia Grishenka and Nikolai Sirchk were bludgeoned to death in a nearby town. 3 more victims were killed on July 6th, 2007.
Damn.
Yeah, the first was Igor Nishvaloda. Another Igor, yeah.
It must be a popular name.
It is a very popular name because...
I like it.
Well, because Viktor's dad's name is also Igor.
Lots of Igors in the town.
Viktor's dad, Igor, and Igor, the bad guy, are I-G-O-R, and then there's E-G-O-R. So kind of like Catherine and... like with a K or with a C.
Okay.
I don't know why I felt the need to explain that.
I get you.
But whatevers. So... Igor had just recently been discharged from the army, and he was bludgeoned to death while walking home from a nightclub. And the next morning, his mother found his body in the middle of the street.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of moms finding their dead children,
really
which is probably the worst thing imaginable. The second victim of the night was 21-year-old night guard Yelena Shram. In Viktor's tape confession, he says that he and Igor were walking towards Yelena, and Igor was hiding a hammer under his shirt and took it out and started beating Yelena until she died. She had been carrying a bag of clothes, and Igor and Viktor used Yelena's own clothes to wipe off their hands and the bloody hammer.
Wow.
That's fucked up. The third victim was...
They're just fucking tearing through shit, dude.
They are tearing through that town.
What the fuck?
I know. It's... Ugh. So, third victim was Valentina Hanza. She was a wife and mother of 3, and she was beaten to death. The next day, July 7th, 2007, 14-year-old boys Andra Sidiek and Vadim Litkonov were fishing when they were attacked. Andra was killed, but Vadim was able to escape. On July 12th, 2007, 48-year-old Sergei Yatsenko went missing while he was out riding his bike. When he never came home, his wife, Yomila, gathered a bunch of people from the town to look for Sergei because in the Ukraine you have to wait 72 hours before you can report someone missing. I think it's 48 in America. I'm not sure, though, 100%.
I'm not sure 100% either, but I think it might be 72.
It might be. I'm not sure. I know it's different for children.
Yeah.
But sadly, Sergei's body was found 4 days later in the woods. Even after being in the summer sun for 4 days, it was obvious Sergei had been bludgeoned to death, and he had also been stabbed in the head, abdomen, and eye with a screwdriver.
I hate when they talk about, like, how hot it was the day they found the body.
It just makes me think of bloated.
Ugh.
And which is so sad. So Sergei is the man from 3 Guys and 1 Hammer. The entire unedited video was shown in court when it was presented by the prosecution in October. 2 months later,
Can you see their faces
in December, yes, you can see their faces 100,000%. Well, so it's mostly Igor doing the beating, and they kind of go back and forth, but Viktor is doing most of the camera work. So 2 months after the videos were shown in court, it was uploaded to the shock site Beskor, which is where also Luka Magnotta's...
Wait, when it was put...
So it was shown in court by the prosecution, and then only 2 months later it got leaked online.
God. Well, for some reason I thought that maybe they put it online and that's how it got leaked. That's crazy that's how it got leaked, not from them posting it.
Well, yeah, I don't know exactly.
So they weren't in it for the fame like Luka Magnotta was, where he posted his videos.
No. They definitely were. They took pictures and videos of everything. I think someone was just able to get, I don't know, maybe they were posting them to places where people couldn't see, and then someone finally was found them and then posted them, because they there was also other footage that they showed. There's a lot of animal torture stuff, and I don't like talking about that. No. But yeah, they were really, really, really... So there was a lot of footage of that being shown. Looking at Tuesday and then talking about what they did.
She keeps making weird noises.
She keeps being a little hype.
She keeps going oh.
I know. I hope she's not dying, because I'll
also,
feel really bad.
the elevator's not picking up as much as it fucking... People are riding the elevator like crazy today.
They're all probably going up to the roof because it's really gorgeous out.
Oh my god, I want to go on your roof.
I know. I have a really nice roof.
Let's finish recording this and then we'll go on your roof.
Cool. So, in the video, you can see Sergei being beaten with a yellow pipe until his face is completely unrecognizable. Then Igor stabs him in the abdomen and eye and in the head with a screwdriver, all while Sergei is alive and moaning in pain.
Of course.
I have seen...
I was going to ask you if you have.
Parts. I couldn't watch it, obviously, because...
I don't want to watch it. I want to see what these 2 fuckasses look like, but I don't want to see the video.
If you search stuff about this, you are going to see pictures that you may or may not want to see. And, it's just... Okay, now you're shaking your titties.
I'm holding them up because they feel heavy.
If you have a heavy burden on your chest.
For sure.
And you need to get it. I get it. Your arms look really weird. But anyhoozle, back to this horrible thing. So yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. And I've heard it's just not good.
What happened to them when they were in court?
I'm just talking about the... Because it correlates to Sergei. I'm going to talk about the court stuff later, because there's still more killings.
More after Sergei.
Yeah, there's more after Sergei. Sergei is just what is 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. Okay, so anyhoozle. So Sergei was, like I said, moaning, in pain. Igor steps on Sergei's stomach before beating him to death with a hammer. After killing Sergei, you see Viktor and Igor walk over to their car, and you can hear them laughing about how Sergei was still alive, even when they were stabbing him with the screwdriver into his exposed brain.
Ugh, fuck, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Then they washed their hands and the hammer off with a water bottle, all while smiling and laughing.
You can see this in the video.
Yes, this is taken from someone who had seen, because, I mean, people would post, like, reaction videos. It's so disgusting.
Yeah.
It's so gross, because in some of the reaction videos, the kids are, like, 8 years old. Like, if you know, and, like, you shouldn't be watching that.
No, that reminds me of American Horror Story Cult.
No, that's exactly,
that really
like,
fucks me up.
You know that they were on best score. I think that's what they were doing. I think she was showing him 3 Guys, 1 Hammer.
Something.
Ugh. But, anyway, so after Sergei was killed, 12 more people were killed. Wow. I couldn't find any specific names. Like, everything I read were just, like, and then 12 more people died. Okay. And I was like, okay. They were kind of picked at random, but they would usually go for people that they thought were vulnerable, like children, the elderly, homeless people, and people who were, like, drunk or out of it or whatever.
They wanted to have the upper hand.
Yes. Dumb idiots. I fucking hate them. So most of the victims were killed with a hammer or steel bars, with the blows directed mostly towards the victims' faces. That was like their MO. Several victims were tortured and mutilated by having their eyes gouged out while they were still alive.
That is so fucked up.
Eye stuff fucks me up.
Call back to fucking Eli Roth, Hostel.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. The girl with the eye situation.
Yuck.
Yeah, I understand why she stepped in front of that train. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so also, there was one of the victims was a pregnant woman, and the fetus had been cut out of her womb. Yeah.
They're just weirdos who wanted to
They're fucked up.
see shit.
It's fucked up. Are you tearing up because it's
I
gross,
yawned.
or you yawned? Okay. No link. I thought that, like, hit you.
No. It's fucked up, but,
it's unrelated. Okay. So no link of the spree murders was made until the 2 boys fishing incident, and the boy who had survived, Vidam, went to the police, obviously, like, running and probably being
screaming.
Like, ah! And he was arrested initially for killing his friend.
Ugh.
Yeah. But they let him go when they realized that Vidam's friend under his death was linked to the spree killings.
For sure.
Like, just think, like, a 14-year-old kid going into the police and being like, me and my friend were just attacked, and my friend died, and they're like, you're under arrest.
Well, they didn't have anyone else to really think. I don't know. You never know.
I don't know the circumstances. So, on July 14th, 2007, Natalia Mamachuk, 48 years old, was riding her scooter through a wooded area, and she was knocked down by Viktor and Igor, who beat her to death with a blunt object, jumped on her scooter, and got away.
Did she die,
she was killed. Ugh. There were multiple witnesses, though, and some even tried chasing after them.
Wow. And
eventually 2 children who had seen the attack were able to provide the police with a detailed description of Igor and Viktor, and it matched up with Vidam's description of the 2 teens. So a manhunt began, and there were over 2,000 investigators working on the case.
Damn.
On July 23rd of 2007, Viktor and Igor were finally arrested when Igor tried selling one of the victim's cell phones to a pawn shop.
Okay.
The police had told all the pawn shop owners in the area that there were teenage boys who were beating people to death and would sometimes rob them afterwards and then sell the items to pawn shops.
Right.
So when Igor tried selling the cell phone, the pawn shop owner obviously contacted the police, and they were arrested. Yeah.
I said Polyps.
Polyps? It's cool. I can't talk either.
Polyps.
Did you know that they made chocolate-covered Peeps?
Yum.
I was kind of thinking so, too. And I'm not a big Peep person.
I don't like the weird sugary coating. It makes me cough.
It is a little weird. So my story is kind of like yours, where there's, like, an ancillary character, or, like, a person, which was, like, part of it, but they're not, like, a huge part. So there was a third team. His name was, like, Alexander, probably. That's what it looked like. And he was Viktor and Igor's friend. He wasn't a part of any of the murders. He was part of, like, their prior, like, criminal activities, like robberies and shit like that.
So he wasn't a great guy.
So, no, whatever his name was not a good dude at all. Especially considering, because when he was arrested at his house, the police found him flushing cell phones down the toilet.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm sorry, like,
Bitch.
it's
I mean,
really...
I've dropped my phone in the toilet plenty of times on accident.
I mean...
Plenty.
I mean, and this was like 2007.
So they were like little Nokias.
They were little like flip phones. Also, it's the Ukraine. I don't know what cell phones they're getting there.
True.
And they could be very small.
Or huge.
Who knows? It's like the Zach Morris ones. They're just getting those. I'm sorry, the Ukraine.
We don't know your phones. Tell us about them.
Tell us about your phones. So, the two, they were charged with 21 murders and 8 more attacks where the victims had lived. Igor was personally charged with 21 counts of capital murder, 8 armed robberies, and animal abuse. So the animals...
What animals did they kill? Dogs and stuff.
Dogs, cats, and they did a lot of fucked up stuff to cats. It's fucked up. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't either.
I don't want to talk about it. That stuff, which is weird. That I can tell details of people, but
I know.
Dogs are just and animals are just so much more defenseless because, like, they don't know. Like, a little, like, kitten, like, doesn't think
especially because they're probably hurting just, like, wild animals.
I mean, it was, like, cats. Because
like...
literally, that third friend, Alexander is what I'm going to call him, he had, like, a fear of blood, and so Igor was like, he tried, like, doing immersion therapy where they just started killing dogs.
Ew.
In front of Alexander.
Yuck.
Yeah. So, they were gross, and this was, like, when they were younger, because they, like, all grew up together in this town. So... Viktor was charged with only 18 of the murders, 5 armed robberies, and also the animal cruelty, because there was, like, 2 hours... I mean, there was, like, so many hours of footage of them doing stuff.
That would suck.
And
to watch.
Yeah. It was, like, I don't remember how many hours, but hours of footage of them just killing animals and people. Yeah. Real bad. Real bad. So, the trial began June of 2008, which is some fast-ass shit.
Yeah.
Compared to the U.S. Like, that is bonkers. Bonkers.
Better that way.
I agree. I agree. So, Igor pled not guilty by means of insanity, but it was denied, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Viktor...
They don't have the death penalty?
They do not. Viktor pled also, I think, not guilty. Or I don't know. It said that he pled guilty, but then they, like, tried to have a defense. So I don't really know how that works, but...
maybe he was trying to plead same thing.
I don't really... Well,
reason of insanity.
I think, no. But, like, I'm pretty sure that their trials were at the same time, like the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, like they happened.
Well,
they were probably tried together.
They were tried concurrently.
Yeah. But
were, like, represented by different lawyers. And Viktor was represented by his dad, who had freshly gotten his law degree a lovely 2 months previous to the trial.
That's not always a bad thing. That means that you're freshly learning things.
Yeah, but... I would rather go with Johnny Cochran, who has
won
but
you know how sometimes people fresh out of the gate, like I think a lot of
not everybody can be Elle Woods, okay?
Are, like, really good when they first start.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
That's so...
Like our vet, she's really young, and
that's
I really
very
like her.
different. I feel like that's very, very different. Like, not having any experience in a criminal trial...
Yeah, that's true.
That is... ridiculous, I think, personally. So, the whole defense was that all of the images and videos had been altered.
What?
And Viktor was also sentenced to life. So his dad did a poor job.
Yeah.
So, it would have been very hard not to convict these guys because, like I said, several hours of video footage was shown, as well as over 300 photos. So these dudes, like, wanted to become famous. Like, they wanted... I mean, it's like that stupid teenager thing. You're taking pictures of fucking thing, like...
Nothing matters.
No, nothing matters. And some of the pictures were of Igor and Viktor at the victims' funerals, flipping off the coffins and gravestones.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So they knew them enough to, like,
they
know
probably,
their
like,
names?
Well, they all lived in the same town. So,
yeah.
and he would... Well, and they
would
knew...
rob them, so they might have their IDs and stuff.
That... Probably, they'd probably hear, like, maybe they read the newspaper. I don't really know. But, so like I said, the whole defense was that they were all digitally altered, but an expert on the film and video editing said that there was absolutely no way. Especially the amount of video footage it would have taken too long to edit them, like, to, like, superimpose their faces onto other people's bodies. It would have taken, like, a year to do.
Damn.
And, I mean, it'd be like editing a movie.
Especially in 2008, like, just, I mean, like, not that things were bad back then, but, like, things have gotten so much better now.
Well, yeah, and, like, who would fucking take the time to frame two people for doing that? And, like, taking
it was
all of
them.
that. It was fucking them 100%. There was a documentary made about the case, and it came out in 2010 on a Chilean TV station called The Hammer Maniacs.
Whoa.
But I have no desire to see it.
No.
Because they put in a lot of, like, the footage, which I don't want to see.
No desire.
I don't want to see any of the pictures. And it's from what I read, at least, it kind of seemed like a making a murderer situation where it was like, did they or didn't they? Because it's a lot of interviews from Viktor and Igor's family. And I'm like, they fucking did it. Mm-hmm. Like, and, like, their families, like, still maintain that they're innocent. But, like, one family member had to be like, so, like, I know that we all think Igor is innocent, but in that one picture, he's wearing a t-shirt that I gave him for his birthday, and I homemade it. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't...
He's holding his license
know.
and it...
and it says Igor, whatever his last name was.
Yeah, it was them. I mean...
It was fucking them 100%.
Fuck off.
And that is the disgusting
Serve
story.
their life in prison.
Yeah, some people think, well, and the one kid got only a couple years in prison, but with, like, hard labor. Yeah. That's something I don't know what that is. Like, I would imagine something involving, like, carrying rocks from one place to another. That's what I think.
Carrying big piles of heavy things.
Like, it doesn't, but, like, for no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, you're just, like, doing hard, like, they're like, you have to carry this rock over there, and then, I don't know.
Right.
So, that has been our killer teens.
That's an episode about some killer fucked up teens.
And because that was such a horrible fucking story to go out on, I think I became numb to it. But when I first heard about, like, the video, it made me want to barf.
Yeah, it's really fucked
When
up.
I originally did the notes, I wanted to barf, and I had to stop once. But I found this article online, and it's really funny, and I thought we'd go out on it.
Another present.
Oh, no. I would love to give you another present sometime, but it needs to come to me.
Right.
So, there was a superintendent in New Jersey who was recently arrested and fired for pooping on the field and track.
When, like, there were kids there?
No, just, like, or maybe, like at night
hours?
times. Like, but, like, it was, like, an oncurring thing. They're like, someone's fucking pooping on the field, and then they find out...
Thing?
It was, okay, so it says that it was Homedale Township Police Department wrote that high school coaches and staff were finding human feces on or near the area of the high school on a daily basis.
Damn, that's some savage shit.
So, yeah, so...
Fired, sure. Arrested? Nah.
They started monitoring the area, and a school resource officer and staff were able to identify Thomas Tremagalini. I did not think to look up his name. He hasn't commented on any of the charges, and they don't know if he has an attorney. I don't know.
He's got some clean pipes.
Yeah, like, why? Why? I want to know why.
I don't know.
Why you be pooping on the field, man?
Maybe it turns him on.
I know.
We're all different and unique.
A kid in high school, I know, pooped on someone's car, but he was a teenager. This was a 47-year-old man. This was he wasn't even...
It seems like it comes out of, like, an angry place, probably, with, like, the like,
Maybe he was like Snape, who always wanted to teach potions, and he was like...
Snape wouldn't take a shit on the Quidditch field. P.S.
he would take a shit.
I'm on year 2. I'm in year 2 now at Hogwarts.
Oh, Morgan
me and
is
the
obsessed.
app are really close. I'm not, like, obsessed, but, like, it's a really good thing to do when you're just, like, got a little second.
Or, when someone's talking to you and telling you a story.
Yeah, of course.
Me, Joy. So, that's been the Sisters Grimm.
We haven't shouted out, like, our information in a while.
Well, it's all listed in the episode.
That is true. If you're listening to this, you're also going to be able to see it.
You'll be able to see it. So
follow us.
Unless you're listening to this secondhand from another person.
Unless someone, like, recorded this with, like, their iPhone.
Unless someone recorded this onto a cassette tape.
Totally. Oh my god, I would love for us to be on, like, vinyl.
Morgan just creepily touched my leg under the tape.
I just poked you with my toe.
You poked me with your toe. Morgan's screensaver just turned on, and her eyes lit up.
It's the most beautiful thing ever. I don't remember setting it to that. I don't usually ever let my computer go to that mode, but it's gorgeous.
I, like, turned off, because you had it set to, like, going into sleep mode. Okay, this isn't interesting.
It's really not.
We love you guys. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening, and...
Don't poop on fields.
I wouldn't.